Vivek, tell us a little bit about what you do, your career field,
hmm
and on a day-to-day basis, what industry you're in.
Sure. Thanks, Alec. Nice to meet you here. I'm a product manager as part of profession. I'm into banking and payments industry. All 22 years I've been in part of that industry, working for different banks, different fintechs, different payment companies, companies in the East Coast, companies in the West Coast. So that's I'm a W-2 earner, so that's what my day-to-day job is. It's in the software development as an overall, but within that, if you want to take a niche, it's in the banking, payments, and credit cards domain. If you want to funnel it down to what specifically domain I support. And I'm a product manager. I design new products for our company in the B2B space. So that's on the profession side, what I do on a daily basis.
So next question, Vivek, is how did you hear about tax saving experts?
It was through either Facebook or Insta ads, because I have been looking at this topic for quite a while. So everywhere, either it's YouTube or Facebook or Insta now, since this topic I'm searching, these ads and these businesses are popping out whenever I'm opening any social media, right? So I think it was from one of those advertisements that I clicked on it and I learned more and I read more and then signed up for the first 30-minute consultation call with one of your sales rep.
Awesome. Awesome. And so what was the reason you decided to hire us over maybe another tax strategy firm?
Uh, Obviously the I had, to be honest, three, four calls like this with different companies. The definitely one of the major impact was the upfront cost. Everybody else was much higher than you, 10K, 25K, 15K, things like that. Or everybody, or the other part companies or the business were much big in the scope that where I am today in my professional and personal career or the situation, I don't need all of that. All of it was like a lot of businesses were like combined, like we'll do the state planning, we'll do X, Y, Z, we'll build everything, or if you become part of us, then there are so many other things that we'll bring on the table, and that's why our cost is higher. But I was specifically was looking only for reducing my tax burden as much as possible. So it seemed like a good fit after the first 30-minute discussion that I had with the sales rep. And I thought that, okay, the initial investment or the fee is something that I can take a risk.
Got it. I really appreciate those details. So essentially, you committed to working with us after shopping around many different companies.
Right.
So I appreciate that. Couple more questions for you. Let's get a little bit more specific. Prior to working with myself, my team, tax saving experts, what was your tax situation like prior to tax saving experts?
Very bad. I mean, I mean, till 2024 filing, I mean, for the 2023 taxes, I have been paying more than 120, 130K in taxes all over, combined federal and state tax. And obviously, I mean, every year it was increasing a lot, and whereas my intake home salary is not increasing. And so there is always this layman puzzle. Okay, I'm not getting money much in hand, but I'm paying more and more to IRS and state every year. Why is that happening? And although obviously it says on the paper, it seems like yes, the salary is increasing, the gross salary is increasing because it's from combined from both me and my wife as a family income. Sometimes bonus is higher, sometimes RSUs are higher. Those are jumping me into a different slab, and that's why my in hands are getting less. And even I'm at the time of filing, I'm paying another 15, 20K out of my pocket just to make that bridge, make that gap that I have to pay back this at the time of filing. So that was a situation I was getting frustrated from last 2 years. The situation was getting worse and worse. That's why this year I thought that even though if I have to extend my filing after April 15th, but if I can find a good partner that can help me reduce it, then I will go for that. So that's why I was a little aggressive this time that I need to make some change.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate that. Getting more specific into, paying six figures in taxes and with bonuses and higher income, it was a reoccurring thing. And I'll save the question of like what negative impact did that have, but more than likely it was an unknown cost to you, right? I mean, you're talking $2,000, $3,000 a week to taxes that you just were not sure of. So I appreciate that. Maybe two or three more questions. I guess what has been the biggest value for you from tax saving experts that you've received? Of course, tax savings, but yeah, just what's been the biggest, most valuable aspect of our coaching program to you?
I think it's a knowledge, it's a skill that I have gained now, for example, and the things that I was not aware of. I had that in my machinery, but I was not even using it. I was not even leveraging it. I was doing nothing, and I'm still paying a higher and higher taxes. So, for example, I did had a my couple of investment properties. My CPA did not tell me that why don't you convert that into an LLC or an management LLC, and that can double up your deductions instead of just deducting your annual rent and annual expenses. That was the only thing that the CPA was doing, rather than there was no strategy that, okay, how can I make this as a business, show it as a business, and then take the business deductions, which is like thrice or four times what I was anyways doing previously. So things like that. And when you, what all the things that you learn about the Augusta rule, about wages to the kids, and how you have to save your receipts, because even if those $2, $3 taxes that you are paying on each and every purchase, whether it's shopping or dining out or buying anything on Amazon, it helps you deduct your sales tax or as part of the salt at the end of the day. So those were the real learnings for me, that okay, I can use my mileage for deductions. I can do all these deduction as part of the business, even if I have one small business running at from my home, which I was. It's not that I started this business after getting into the tax saving experts. These things were already there. It's just that after tax saving experts came into this, it became like a machinery, a well-oiled foundation where I can build up, and that can become a rinse and repeat cycle year and year after that. So that was the biggest learning. It was like an eye opener. Okay, my God, I've been just sitting on this for the last 3 years, doing nothing. For example, the cost segregation. I mean, those properties were obviously eligible for cost segregation in the previous years, and I didn't know about that, and nobody told me about that. My CPA didn't tell me about that. I didn't file for that. That could have been a big deductions in my previous year. So things like that. These are just eye openers. I mean, I think I've become 10 times more smarter than in tax filing now in 2026 versus I was in 2024.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate that detail too, because I think the biggest thing that I took away from that is you're educated now and you know so much more now moving forward into future years and you'll be able to apply this forever. And same with, teaching your children or, family members, et cetera, how to continue building more wealth and
Exactly.
using the tax
Yeah.
code that was written. So awesome. Two more questions. The first one is so somebody may be watching this video and they're on the fence of working with tax saving experts.
Mhm.
They've been shopping around. They think the investment's a little bit too steep. They're unsure if they can actually get the results they're looking for. What would you tell to somebody who doesn't know who we are and they're on the fence, knowing what you know now about myself, my team, and our company?
Yeah, my honest recommendation would be this upfront investment is worth it, because knowing the situation, if and knowing the expertise that we have in tax savings team. I mean, you have the strategist calls, you have your own in-house or IRS licensed CPAs who can file taxes on behalf of you, and it's a fully in-house team. And then the office hours you have, and then the school community you have. There is so much to learn and share there. I think the investment is worth it. Um, I know had the same doubt that whether should I take this risk or not. Uh, but when it comes with that confidence and guarantees that yes, TSE will help you in get back this investment in as part of your tax refund, that is definitely a good what you can say nudge, where which businesses are not doing that. They're not giving any those kind of guarantees. They're not giving that confidence. And I would just say that this is worth it. I mean, the knowledge you will learn in the first year, or those four strategy calls with the TSE, that is unimaginable. You can't. That's priceless, because that is going to stay with you for the rest of the years, and it's going to pass on from a generation to generation. So that just brings you from whatever zero or one level to a different level. You think like a businessman, you act like a businessman, you file tax like a businessman. So you're no longer a W-2 owner, that you are just here to get a paycheck deducted, taxes from the source itself, and you can't do anything. Now you have the means that you can do everything, and you can take control of your funds.
That's amazing, Vivek. Well, we've been honored to be able to coach you, have you in our community, and to work with us. So thank you so much. Final question. It could be a specific number or a percentage. Do you mind sharing with a viewer what was the before and after result of your actual tax savings? Whether it's a number or percentage, if you don't mind sharing that.
Sure. I mean, before we know that, it was minus, I would say 20%, because at the time of tax filing, I had used to pay like 10K, 15K, 20K out of my pocket just to meet that gap, even though I was paying in six figures already as part of my tax cut in my paychecks. After the fact, I got, what should I say, 20% back this year. And the number that we were thinking, when the CPA filed my 1040 for federal and state, the number we were had in that, the tax refund came 5,000 extra from that. So that was an additional surprise. Like, okay, I was expecting X, and it actually came X plus 5,000. So
That's
it was
all.
a cherry, or you can say a good Christmas gift or a Thanksgiving gift for me in November, because I filed in October because of the extension, and it
Yes.
was a good Thanksgiving gift back from IRS to me. Hmm.
That's amazing. That's amazing, Vivek. So essentially, you went from paying multiple six figures or six figures to usually owing during tax season to actually getting a
Right.
refund check of about 20% back in your pocket. So
Exactly. And I use that 20% for the this year's cost segregations, because I reinvested that into an Airbnb rental, a short-term rental. I furnished that funds for that, so that I have more deductions going into the 2025 tax filing. So this year I'm expecting 50% tax returns from IRS.
excellent. Well, Vivek, that's exactly what we teach. We're, trying to take that tax savings, reinvest it, do what the IRS wants you to do to reward you, giving you your tax dollars back so then you can build more wealth for you, your family, your next heirs. So I love to hear that. With that being said, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for hopping on here with me.